So we have our final piece of felt with our stitches in. We have a straight running stitch, we have a curved running stitch, we have back stitch, chain stitch, cross stitch, fly stitch, lazy daisy and a French knot. Now this really is the final stitch. What we're going to do is we are going to create a stitch that is going to be used around the edge of your product, because when you make your product it's going to be made of 2 layers of felt. One side is going to have your embroidery on, and inside is going to have your electronic components, and on the other side is going to be a switch. So what we would like to do is to join these 2 pieces of felt in a decorative way so that it adds to the product and it doesn't take anything out from the product. What's nice about using felt is it has a really nice clean edge and it doesn't fray. You can join your stitches, your pieces of felt with these stitches if you want to, but if you join with a running stitch you're going to have these 2 pieces of felt open like that. So what I'm going to show you is a blanket stitch. I have my needle and it is threaded, and I have folded my piece of felt in half, okay, so I can still see all the stitches. Okay, I'm going to start in the corner here and I'm going to put the needle inside the flap, and then I'm going to pull the needle through, and that way the knot is on the inside and it's not going to be seen. And the blanket stitch is very easy. We start at the front and you practice now stabbing your needle through into the right place. It comes up, so you make a stitch over the edge of the fabric like that, and then you pull it through. Now just before you pull it through, what you're going to do is you're going to put the thread through the loop like that. Okay, and then we do the same next to it. Now try to make your stitches the same length down. If I was doing this for the first time I might draw a line, or I might have a ruler handy so that I can actually measure the stitches like this, so I could put that up against it each time. That one's 1/2 centimetre, but sometimes you can do this just by looking at it, and the more practice that you have the better you are. So starting at the back, bring the needle through to the front and pull it, and just before the loop disappears you put your needle through that loop so it looks like this. Oops, sorry about that. And again, needle through, keep stabbing until it's in the right place, wrap the thread around and pull it through. And what happens is, as you're pulling it through, the thread comes across the edge of the felt like this. Okay, and it's called blanket stitches because that's what we used to, in the old days they used to have, when we used to have blankets, that's how they used to finish off the edge of the woolen material. Needle front to back, bring it through. Sorry, back to front, not front to back. Back to front, wrap the thread around, bring it up. Back to front, wrap the thread around, bring it up. And you can move your stitches if they're not quite perpendicular to the edge. Now my thread's getting quite short here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some new thread. So I'm just going to open up the flap. I'm going to bring the needle inside the back like I was doing before, but not through to the front bit. And then I'm going to make my knot like we did before. Make your knot, pull it down and then trim it. And then I'll get another piece of thread and I'll start again. So I've done all the way around. I need to come to the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the fold like this, and then just before it disappears goes through the loop, and then it creates that last stitch on the edge there as well, like that. I'm going to do that one again. So we've got that down like that. Okay, you've got several options here. You can see that the thread is in the inside there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a really low knot right inside, using the needle again, so that it goes right inside there like that. Go over it again, and you can see it's pulled really tight on the actual stitch, but I'm going to pull that back again. So inside there like that, snip it off right close to the stitch, and then what I do is I pull that stitch back, and then the knot disappears onto the inside like that. Okay, so this is your final piece with all your stitches on. And remember, this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because this is the piece of work that you're going to make your decisions from. I need to know, how did you do, and what could you do to make it better? I think there's quite a few things that are common in embroidery where things go wrong. One of those is that you don't let the needle unravel while you're stitching, and it creates a knot. One might be that you stitched for too long and your thread got too short, so you found it very difficult. And it might be that you didn't read the instructions properly. Sometimes it's really important to watch something through, all the way through, and then watch it as you go through as well. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed your embroidery when you come to do it. And you're going to evaluate that at a later stage.